What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. Let's discuss AEW Dynamite from March the 27th, 2024. This show was not good. It wasn't good. Tony Khan needs to be removed. It's time. Not trying to be mean. Tony Khan can still fund AEW, but somebody else needs to be in that damn driver's seat. I mean, this show felt very run-of-the-mill. Not only that, but nothing all that important happened, really. This was basically just total filler. If we're being honest, it's just total filler. So, we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. Will Ospreay versus Tatsuyori Shibata. Will Ospreay defeats Tatsuyori Shibata via the Tiger Driver 91 into the Hidden Blade for the 1-2-3. Okay, cool. Does it really matter? No. Why? Because Shibata has done nothing at all in AEW. He's been with AEW, I want to say, for what? I want to say, did he come in year one? I think he came in year one. So, I want to say he's been with AEW for a good 4 years. And he's done nothing. I mean, he's okay. But is he a guy that I would keep around on my roster? On my active roster? No. He would be either a coach or a producer, something like that. But not an active wrestler. No. I'm ready for them to do more with Ospreay. And now is the time. You've got, 3 weeks? 3.5 weeks until AEW Dynasty. We need to start getting promos between him and Danielson. They have to start, cutting back and forth promos on one another. It's time. You've got to build it. You've got to build it. The vignettes and stuff that they've done, the video packages and stuff they've done for Danielson and Will Ospreay, that's been fine, but they've got to put their foot on the gas and keep going. Moving on. Speaking of Bryan Danielson, we get a video package of Bryan Danielson featuring clips of him being in Ring of Honor, his entire career in Ring of Honor, basically, from the early 2000s, as well as New Japan, his time with New Japan as well. But they edited out a huge chunk of his WWE career, and that was by design. So, yeah. So, it makes sense, but the video package was good nonetheless. Moving on, Renee Paquette. She talked to the Young Bucks earlier on in the night ahead of their tag team title tournament match against Private Party. So they ran down their goals that they've done so far this year. They retired Sting, restructured the Elite by bringing in Kazuchika Okada and to regain the AEW World Tag Team Championships by winning the tournament. They promise that lightning never strikes the same place twice, and they'll defeat Private Party. Who gives a single shit? I despise the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks need to be finito. I'm not going to hold you guys up. This whole Bullet Club Elite shit needs to be done away with. Bullet Club's been dead for well over 10 years, basically about 12 years, if we're being honest. So just axe it. I mean, personally, if I was running AEW, the Young Bucks would be released. Now you're going to hold you guys up. All right? They could do something else, wrestling, and being a part of a wrestling promotion. Nope. Wouldn't be on my list. No, it wouldn't be on their list. They would have to do something else. Moving on. So, Okada, he pulls up in the parking lot with a new Ferrari, which was nice, and it looks red. I mean, it was red, so that's cool. The Young Bucks, they defeat Private Party, so they advance in the quarterfinals of the tag tournament. Who gives a damn? This match went on forever, and they botched the finish, so it doesn't really matter. Private Party, can we kind of just like release them? I mean, I like them, but like they would be better off in TNA or even in NXT. Just saying. They're not gonna do jack shit in AEW, and they have done jack shit in AEW for the past 5 years, except for beat the Young Bucks just once, and that was it. So they've done nothing else. Moving on. So we get a video package and vignette of Tenosuke Takeshita, narrated by Don Callis. So that was fine. Moving on from that. So Mercedes Moné pulls up in an SUV. So she's going to be on commentary for whatever reason for the Fatal 4-Way match later on in the show. Moving on. So Darby Allin and Tony Hawk, they help support a local skate park. So they told everybody to go to skatepark.org. Okay, that's cool. All right. Moving on. Renee Paquette, she's backstage talking to Hook and Chris Jericho about the proposition that Chris Jericho has for Hook. So Chris Jericho talks about having respect for Hook after the match they had last week, and offers any advice to Hook that he may want. Hook then thanks Chris Jericho for the praise, and he accepts his advice. But he also knows who Chris Jericho is. Chris Jericho also knows who Hook is. So this is interesting. I'm guessing maybe this is a slow heel turn for Chris Jericho. Maybe. I don't know. But, like I said, it's time for Chris Jericho to hang up the boots. I think he would make a fine producer or a fine coach or a fine ambassador for AEW. It's just time to move on from Chris Jericho. We see Jericho every single damn week, and it is utterly annoying. And I'm a fan of Jericho. I've liked Jericho since the 90s. I've always liked Chris Jericho. I really have. But, man, Jericho, man, it's just time to hang up the damn boots. We see too much of him. He needs to take on a lesser role. And maybe after this feud with Hook is done, maybe he'll start doing that. Maybe he'll just show up for just certain feuds. Really and truthfully, we should just see Jericho no more than about 3 or 4 times a year, and that's it. Like, I'm not going to hold you guys up. Jericho should just be there just for feuds. Really. Moving on. So, Mercedes, she's out on commentary for this Fatal 4-Way. So you had her hop on a plane and go to Quebec. Go to Canada. Go to Canada. And all she is doing is she's just on commentary. This is so stupid. Tony Khan, bro, what in the hell are you doing, dog? This is so stupid. She is doing mid-card shit. This is all mid-card shit. Like, you really could just do the Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné feud via Rampage. My bad, not Rampage, but via Dynamite and Collision. Like, what are you doing? Mercedes doesn't need to be in a mid-card title feud at all. For real. She doesn't. Mercedes should have been brought in to be the one who was going to dethrone Toni Storm. My bad. Timeless Toni Storm. This makes zero sense. So, Willow Nightingale, she wins the Fatal 4-Way. So, she's going to be the one to take on Julia Hart at AEW Dynasty. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I guess Willow will probably defeat she'll probably defeat Julia Hart. Maybe. I don't know, because really, Willow's been doing nothing for the past year and some change. She's done nothing. She's taken massive L's to Jade Cargill when Jade Cargill was there. She's taken massive L's from Julia Hart in the past. She's taken a couple of losses from Chris Statlander as well, when Chris Statlander and her were feuding with each other and all that. And I feel bad for Chris Statlander. I really do. I would love for Chris Statlander to be in NXT or in TNA. But she has got to get out of AEW. Like so many other talent need to get out of AEW. Moving on. So Renee Paquette, she's backstage once again. Dustin Rhodes is got his gear on completely, most of it, you know. He's ready to rock and roll. So he said that he's 55 years old. He talked about his matches that he's had for the past few months. And then the Butcher, he shows up. And he says that he's going to challenge Dustin Rhodes to a match at Rampage. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is absolutely stupid. Why isn't the Butcher released? I'm just being honest. He's a waste of time and money. I'm not going to hold you guys up. It really is time for there to be some releases in AEW. I know people are going to be like, oh, that's mean. No, it's not. You can't have a flourishing roster where everybody on that roster makes 6 figures. Some people are making 7 figures. Some people are making even 8 figures, a.k.a. Mercedes Moné. You just brought in Okada, you just brought in Mercedes, and you just brought in Ospreay. It's time to release talent. It's just time. You can't have all that talent on the roster. You just can't. You cannot. They've got to start releasing. Moving on. So we get a vignette from Timeless Tony Storm involving Ben Mankiewicz. Tony Storm says it's the perfect combination in light of this change in attitude from the AEW Women's World Champion. So this entire segment is basically centered around Ben refusing to repeat all of Tony Storm's catchphrases. So this is just straight filler, basically. You know. So it's fine, I guess. Again, where's Deonna Purrazzo? Where is she? I guess she took the week off, I guess. I don't know. Again, we really need to do something with Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné quick as possible. They might need to go ahead and do something at Double or Nothing. Seriously. You have Mercedes feud with Willow. And then you begin to build the feud between Toni Storm and Mercedes. And we go from there. But you gotta start building that feud as we go into Double or Nothing. Because we already know that Mercedes is going to definitely be on Dynasty for sure. So once she's done feuding with Willow, you need to instantly insert her in to a feud with Toni Storm. That's just what you're going to have to do. Moving on. So I wanted to burn my television down to the ground. Best friends Undisputed Kingdom. Fuck both teams. Fuck them both. This sucked. I'm not gonna hold you guys up. I didn't even watch this damn match. This was a waste of fucking time. The best friends get the win. Can we please disband the Undisputed Kingdom? Can we please stop this shit completely and move on from it? My God, this is such a waste of time. I wish that they never even did the Devil storyline with MJF and Adam Cole. I wish they never would have done that story at all. I wish they never would have even done it. It's been a total train wreck. It's been a total waste of fucking time. Holy shit. Moving on. So, Renee Paquette, once again, for the second week in a row, she's talking to one Kyle O'Reilly about his return to AEW, getting a big win over Brian Keith. So Kyle then addresses the deep roster in the company, and he continues to insist that he'll go at it alone to prove where he belongs. Okay, cool, I guess, but is it really that important? Not really. Kyle O'Reilly is bland and boring. And I'm not being mean, but Kyle O'Reilly looks like he's homeless. He really does look like he's homeless. Seriously, I'm not going to hold you guys up. I'm not being mean. I'm not being an asshole. I'm just being real. Kyle O'Reilly, if I were to see him on the street and I knew nothing about pro wrestling and I saw him on the street, I would literally give him $20 and probably try to give him some deodorant, maybe some toothpaste and some mouthwash. I'm just being real. I'm just really being real. I'm seriously being real. I don't know what it is, but these ROH guys, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, I don't get it, man. These guys look homeless. Moving on. So, Edge, he is addressing taking the TNT Championship from Christian Cage, and he's going to be doing a TNT Open Challenge, which is going to take place on Collision. Oh my gosh, poor Edge. Poor Edge. I feel so sorry for Edge. I really, honestly do. How the mighty have fallen. Moving on, just moving on. Main event, Swerve Strickland defeats Tenosuke Takeshita. So he's now the new number one contender to take on Samoa Joe. The match was solid. It was a fun TV match. It was kind of weird that Takeshita kicked out of the Swerve Stomp, but this is AEW. All they're going to do is just a bunch of indie shit. You could drop Takeshita on his head 1,000 times. He'd still kick out at one or two. So, it is what it is. Swerve wins via the big pressure, a.k.a. the JML driver or whatever it's called. So, he wins that way. And then, post-match, we go backstage. Renee Paquette's talking to Samoa Joe. The champ begins to warn that Swerve is not that man heading into the title match at Dynasty. So, that was it. Again, this just seemed filler. It seems like AEW is spinning their wheels. Tony Khan has no idea what he's doing. And that's not good. It's just not good. AEW needs help like nobody's business. AEW just needs some real changes. And AEW is on the decline. I don't care that they brought in Mercedes or Will Ospreay or Kazuchika Okada. That doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Look at the TV ratings and look at how things have declined. Look at their attendance. Look at their ticket sales. AEW is not doing good right now. They're just not. And they only have themselves to blame. But Dynamite was total filler. The main event was solid. But everything else on the show was just a waste of time. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.